Hello. Hi. We're live. Huzzah. Trying to get some. Oh, that that was loud. Someone's mowing lawns outside, so apologies. Hopefully, you can hear me okay today. I've got a little bit of white noise going on in the background. Let me grab some things. Water. Any other beverages you want. I have a bolster and 2 pillows. Hello, camera. Okay. Hi. We're going to start over. What's up? Thank you for being here. I hope you can hear me all right. Please give me feedback. I'm going to grab a couple of things. I'm going to grab my beverages. I've got water with electrolytes. Very importante. I hopefully will make a video soon about how to make one just with some like sea salt and other things. What you want to include, or I use the LMNT powder packs. Potassium, magnesium, sodium. And then I've got my big round bolster and 2 fluffy pillows. For today, we want to be able to get really comfortable and utilize props to help with that comfort. I think maybe they're done. Oh, perfect, right on cue. And therapy balls. For the positions I'm going to show you today, I really like this medium size set. There's a smaller, and then there's the big alpha balls. So I've got my medium therapy balls. And because most of today we're going to be on the ground, breathing deeply and releasing deep tension in often uncomfortable places in the body, I would like to start seated. So get some props, figure out a way to help elevate your hips so that we can sit here for a while as we get settled. Once you're in your seat, take a moment to roll your shoulders up, shrugging them up, pulling them back, pinching them down. Rolling up, back, and down. Maybe wiggle a little bit while also keeping your upper back engaged and just kind of squeezing your shoulder blades together and down. Wiggle it out, let the head shake a little bit. Take some horsey breaths. And then take a moment to rock a couple times, tilting the pelvis, scooping it, and then arching it. Turn a little bit diagonal here. This is gonna drive me bananas. So we're gonna unplug it. So it'll drive me less bananas. Okay. Hi and welcome. Thank you for being here in this class today. We're going to take it really slow. And for most of class, be working on breath work while we're utilizing our therapy balls in some key places that I'll walk you through for deep low back, hip, and psoas tightness and tension. So grab some props. I have a big bolster and 2 pillows out here today. I have a layer in case I get a little chilly, some beverages, my electrolyte water, some coffee. I'm still in my morning wake up. Thank you for being here. So because we're going to be really grounded for most of class, I would like to start seated. If that's not comfortable or accessible in your body, please do something different. Lie down, fetal position on your back, child's pose, whatever feels good. If you'd like to ride this pathway, go ahead and meet me seated. Support your hips, so sit up on something that will support you. And before we get too settled, do a few big shoulder rolls, bringing those shoulders up to the ears, squeezing the shoulder blades, dropping them back and down. Try to maintain a nice neutral neck. Up and shrug, squeeze, roll back, pinch, pinch, pinch as we roll down, 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 come to neutral. One more. Up, pinch, drop, and back. Maintain that engagement in the upper back, kind of like shake it out a little bit everywhere else. And then take a few little tilts with me in the pelvis. So we're going to scoop, pulling and tucking, relieving our low back a little bit, and just like take a couple rocks. You can also inhale, exhale. But we're going to get settled. So with that slight pelvic tuck, anterior tilt, shoulders pulled back and down, hands grounded and rooted into the body, either in the lap, palms down, palms up, on the body, heart space, belly, heart space, womb, heart space, pubic bone. Begin to take some nice big breaths with me. Inhaling deeply through the nose. Exhaling with a sigh out the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. One more big inhale in. This time hold at the top. Sip in as you hold. Extra little bits. This time make a big, huge, super loud exhalation. Make it loud and crazy and ugly. As we continue to breathe deeply, we're going to inhale and sip like we just did. And then we're going to pay attention to our exhalation. Maybe pursing our lips like we're blowing out through tiny coffee straws, emptying from the collarbones through chest, rib cage, belly button, deep core, pelvic floor last. Feel everything squeezing tightly, wringing yourself out like a sponge on the inside, getting all of that exhalation out and holding in that discomfort. Then when you're finally ready to inhale, really deeply soften into your pelvic floor, feeling your low belly relax, mid-belly, abdomen, rib cage, chest, collarbones. Feel that inhale lift you, expand you. Pause and sip. This time I'm going to hum. We can do a combination of coffee straw into horsey breath, into a little trill. So just we can, vibrating and opening up through our throat chakra is really healthy to keep us in our truths and standing up and sticking up for what we believe in, what we need, what we desire. Squeezing at the bottom, softening around that discomfort, softening in the face and the eyes and the jaw, softening into the shoulders, keeping a strong back, supported spine, soften into your feet and your toes, all the places that we're not using right now. Soften, soften, soften. Take a moment and allow yourself to be a cloud. Fluffy and ethereal and suspended in the air. Supported, surrounded, vast, porous. And today, as we go through all of these different practices, I would love for us to continue to come back to this cloudness, cloudy, floaty, suspended, supported energy. Take a few more deep breaths, and our breath is going to increase a little bit as we get active, and then we're going to slow it back down, and then we're rolling our therapy balls. But I'll cue you through that. You will never fail if you just feel like slowing down and stopping breathing. Breathing is essential. With that said, let's go ahead and move just a little. Maybe keep your eyes closed. I'm certainly going to keep them closed for a little bit. Let's take some nice head rolls. Tall spine, supported, suspended. Maybe turn into some little figure eights or some side bends. Side to side. Side to side bends. Breathing, moving. So go ahead when you have a moment and find your pinkies in this hip crease, especially if you're seated. If you're lying down, you can find this as well, but it's just like right in a little pocket. If you're feeling up to it, maybe even dive your fingertips, keep them very taut, dive them deep into this space, being mindful, especially if you're a womb-bearing creature, be mindful. There's lots of tender tissue and nerve endings here, so no need to be aggressive. Just see how like we can go pretty deep in here before we start to get to some stuff. Well, our psoas lives deep in there, and our psoas, go ahead and relax and just snuggle those hands in and let them just sit here, and then press slightly into your lower abdomen. Give your lower abdomen a hug. So the psoas we need to talk about more. When we throw our backs out, we're usually actually talking about our psoas. And the reason we can't walk and the reason we have so much pain is because the psoas is I'm fairly sure, the only cross-lateral muscle in the entire body. We kind of have two halves, okay? And as like standing creatures, we have this like huge muscle that wraps into our low back. I call it the bra strap area. It inserts there. It wraps around. Well, it comes through down the back, and then it shoots through across into our hips, like attaches into our pelvic floor. So in many texts, I have read that this is the secret keeper muscle in the body. Energetically, this is the home for shame. loss and guilt, but usually shame, pain, secrets, secret keeping, which means you can't speak your truth, which is a violent thing. It's an act of violence if someone tells me I cannot speak my truth. You don't have to agree with it or fix me, but I still deserve to sit in my truths. We all do. So this class is about that today, our Psoas. And right now we're just building some trust. Sitting here, breathing, holding onto our abdomens. Keep breathing. There's a lot of hip stuff involved with our Psoas as well. So we're going to go through some hip mobility exercises first so we can warm up the body to then prime us to get deep in with our therapeutic massage with our therapy balls. Okay, so let's make our way to hands and knees. Let me come back here onto my mat. Oh, yeah, that feels better. All right, hands and knees tabletop. Spread your fingers out wide. Find your stackedness. So shoulders, elbows, wrists in a line. Spread your fingers out wide. Grip them into the mat like we had talons. And let's pay attention to one finger at a time right now. Pinky, ring, middle, pointer, thumb. Dig into the ground. It's kind of like a tent happening in my hand. Soft, soft bend in the elbow. Do a few scapular cat-cows. Pinch the shoulder blades. Pull them apart. Pinch the shoulder blades. Pull them apart. One more. Pinch the shoulder blades. Pull down in the shoulders. And peel them apart. Let's do one more. Really think about pulling down away from the ears. Pinching the shoulder blades and peeling apart. Good. Just do a few little circles. Keep pressing all fingers into the ground, firing up in the forearms. Our core involves our shoulders to our hips. Also, anything on our wrists is going to help us build grip strength and stability, and we'll age better and have less accidents and have a better, longer, healthier life. So let's do that. Yeah. We're going to go ahead and extend this front leg forward. And I feel like a mess today, y'all. Woo! All right. So we're extended through, and if you're opening outward, I want you to go ahead and close that hip. Keep it nice and square. We want to keep the body as square as possible so we can utilize our skeletal system to support us, suspend us. Point through the toes or flex them. Breathe. Lift a little higher by utilizing the glutes. If you're having trouble balancing, tuck the toes under the base leg. Now we're going to keep that flexed or flexed if it's not, and peel the heel in towards the glute and hold. Lift the knee up a little bit, but find a magnetism from ass cheek to heel. Pull, 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 pull. We're going to keep lifting up as we begin to open out, continuing that pull of the heel being magnetized into the butt cheek. And we're going to move it around. Knee comes around real slow into the armpit. Oh my God. And then we're going to extend the leg, and we're going to point through those gorgeous feet and toes. Woo! And then we're going to flex, and we're going to bend the knee back in towards the armpit, lifting the knee and the hip, and then squeezing the heel into the glute. We're going to peel it out. Slow, 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 slow. Oh, I missed the extension and drop. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's do the back leg. Extend through and point through. I know. It's hard shit. Don't rotate open. Keep everything square. Go ahead and lift. Find our balance. Maybe curl base leg, toes under. I'm going to go ahead and flex that back leg. Lifting by feeling my glute and my hamstring engage. Peel that heel in towards the butt cheek. Attract it in. Squeeze it like we're in a quad machine at the gym. Keep squeezing, keep squeezing. Lift the knee, lift the hip a little. The thigh, actually. Don't lift the hip. Leave the hip square. We're going to start to turn. Rotate. Knee, hip, and ankle are lifting up, 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 up as we scoop it slowly in towards the armpit. Once we get the armpit, we're extending the leg straight, pointing through the toes. Hold, breathe. Go ahead and flex, rebend. We're lifting. Knee is being pulled up. Ankle is being attracted into the ass cheek. We're going to rotate all the way out until our foot is up. Then we're going to point through the foot, extend the leg, drop it, come down. Oh, my. Whew, I'm a tender gal today. Roll your wrists. Roll the head. Take some deep breaths. Ooh, pardon me. Come sit back into child's pose and then let your arms drift forward. Stay high up on your fingertips. I call these the Spider-Man fingers. Drop chin, chest to the floor. Breathe through the opening in the shoulders. Let's go ahead and press into the floor ever so slightly. And then we're going to make some rotations in the shoulders. Forward and back, just tiny little micro circles. All right, we're gonna do that one more time. One more time on each leg. Go ahead and extend. Front leg, point through the toes. Go ahead and lift. Find our balance. Find our grip in with our hands. Activate. Lift as high as we can, utilizing glute and hamstring. Find length through the crown and the toes. Or flex the foot through the heel. Lift a little higher. When you're ready, we're going to slowly draw that heel into the butt cheek. Finding the magnetism there, holding. Squeezing like a little nutcracker. We're going to lift the knee and the hip.
Inhale.
And then we're going to rotate
Embrace
up.
the love that vibrates in your heart.
Yes. Take it around.
Exhale. Radiate the love that flows out.
Extend.
Your soul.
Point.
Inhale.
Flex.
Vibrate
Rebend.
love. Exhale.
Slowly unwind.
Radiate love. Affirm yourself.
Extend through the leg, the toes. Drop and switch.
I feel love within me.
Point through the toes. Find your base. Lift.
Love all around me.
Activate your fingers.
Every day, I am becoming more loving and compassionate.
Find your length. Flex the foot.
Being
Peel
kind to others
the heel in.
also means being kind to myself.
Squeeze. Hold. Lift the knee. Lift
I appreciate
the thigh.
love.
Rotate around to the side.
I value my life.
Keep it lifted.
I accept myself for who I am.
Knee to armpit. Extend. Point.
I am divine love and
Flex.
radiant light.
Bring it back in. Breathe. Peel it around.
I vibrate pure love.
Rotate. Point.
I vibrate radiant light.
Extend. Drop. Relax. Come back.
My thoughts and desires are in harmony with universal love. I love myself unconditionally. There is nothing that I lack.
Let's go ahead and crawl back out. Do a couple of those shoulder rotations and
Inside and out.
opening. And we'll listen to this shot for a little bit.
I am attractive. I am abundant. I am rich in love. There is no need to be perfect. Perfection is only an idea, not a reality. I am self-nurturing. I am self-caring. I am self-loving.
All right.
The better I take care of myself,
Slowly.
the more help I can offer to others.
What? Mess that up. That's okay. Yeah. Let's go ahead and come on to our backs. Just a few more activating movements. Go ahead and walk your feet in towards your hips as close as you can get them. Might be able to reach around and touch them. We're going to go ahead and press into the floor, into our toes, full foot, lifting the hips, rising up, squeezing shoulder blades together, walking them a little bit side to side. Continue to press and squeeze, pushing down with our arms into the floor, lifting those hips nice and high. Let's go ahead and lift the toes up off the ground. Find balance between this triangle that is pinky toe, mound, big toe, mound, heel. Find that triangle and press equally into that. Then go ahead and drop your toes onto the ground, one at a time if you can. Still working on that. And now grip them into the floor and help them stabilize that triangle. Keep squeezing into the hips. Maybe rest your hands close to that hip pocket, right on top of your hips. Bring warmth there. Keep pressing, squeezing into your glutes and zipping up, like we talked about at the beginning of class. Zip up. And slowly lower from top to bottom. Butt cheeks, relax, last. Go ahead and shake out your legs. All right, we're gonna either drop this back foot or we're gonna hug it into the chest. Meanwhile, extending this front leg, we're going to point or flex through the foot. I might start pointed. So we're gonna take this in a circle. We're gonna feel like we have a strap that we have wrapped around our ankle and we're pulling it into the body. So there's a magnetism. This is the theme. We're gonna hear this a lot. This magnetism in the body. So we're gonna pull in, and then from here, we want to keep it magnetized to the face and the ear. We're gonna drop it out. So we're also simultaneously pulling it in and up. Keeping your opposite sacrum as close to the floor as possible. So that's why having your knee down or your knee here in keep you in check, because we could roll. And yes, you could make it look like you were more flexible if you ever wanted to by doing that, but right now we're actually trying to get into our end range of motion, so we want to stay true with the square body. So start to let that scrape deep into the hip. Bring it around and down. Oh, we're just going to hang on here for a second because someone has spicy hip flexors. If this is too much in your hip flexor or you're arching too much in your back trying to release how tight your hip flexor is, because basically what I'm saying is we want to stay scooped. What I like about having this knee free is I can use it as a lever, pull it in, keep it scooped. You'll see now my knee is lifted, that's fine. You can bend it. just want to be able to feel enough stretching in this front hip flexor for it to change a little bit with our breath. One more breath. All right, we're going to reactivate point through the toes or flex, and we're going to bring it back. Once we come up, oh, it's getting so deep. Oh, pulling in, pulling in, pulling into the body, 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 and beautiful switch sides. Just scooch. I think I'm going to kick the wall. Here we go. Here's my keep this hip in check. Find the magnetism here. Pull into the body, point or flex. Try to really radiate so you can get the full effects through the toes and the foot. Pull in and start to go out as far as we can. Keep that hip in check. The muscle should peel down. Now the magnetism, damn it, I still hit the wall. Now the magnetism, that's kind of helpful, I guess, is with the floor. We're kind of like, actually it's more like away from each other this way lengthwise. All right, let's all into this hip flexor stretch. Big breaths. All right, let's reactivate. Pointer flex through the foot. We're going to take it back around as close to the floor as possible, as deep in that hip as possible. End range of motion. How big can we draw a circle? Once you get closer up, we're pulling into the body, into the body, into the body, into the body. Go ahead and bend the knee. Let's rock it out a little bit. Nice work. Those are both really phenomenal movements to do for hip mobility and lower back tension. So keep that in mind. I'm gonna grab some water and we're gonna go through my favorite Psoas releasing therapy ball points. I haven't done this for a couple of days. I've been trying to do it every day. So I know I'm definitely going to get into some pain points. Go ahead and take your balls out if they're in their little container. I'm going to put this on. Now that we're done moving, there's a chance I'm going to get cold. So feel free to have like blankets nearby as well. Turn this down just a little bit. So we're going to start on our backs, and this is where I suggest you have some props nearby. You want to be comfortable in these positions. I move quite a bit while I'm in these, so I'm probably just going to have something under my head, and a pretty low profile one because I'm trying to get contact into the floor with my body. Yeah, I'll walk you through it. So our first point, and we're going to go through 3 spots on our back. Well, it's 1, 2, and then each hip. But we're going to use both balls, and we're going to basically find them on this bra strap area. And you'll be able to roll a little bit once you're down. So just shoot for the mid back. And you want them separated just a little bit because we don't want them compressed onto the actual like vertebrae, the bones. We want to be on the muscles around that. So we're going to lower down onto them, maybe roll onto them. You know what? They might be closer than that. They might be closer. They're a little bit. We go deeper, or we go wider apart. I think when we're further down the body. So, oh, yep. If you're not quite sure where it's spicy, just it'll show itself real quick if you pick up your hips and then kind of push yourself forward to go up a little bit, or push yourself to go down a little bit. There's going to be a spot that's like extra spice. We're going to find that extra spicy spot. And we're going to sit in stillness because I left my phone too far away, and I hit the sweet spot, so I don't want to move. If you're not feeling anything, then you're going to want to continue to scoop the hips up. I'm at a level like 6 in discomfort, and I don't want to go more than that. I would suggest you don't either. And the way we know where we're at on the discomfort scale is our ability to breathe. If you're grasping for breath, or it feels shallow like that, you're now in pain territory. We want to like brush up against pain. We want to be in discomfort. So yeah, find that edge, and then we're going to breathe around it. I'm just going to let my knees collapse in on each other and hang out there. I might move them slowly. I'm doing very little movement, and it's bringing up a lot of sensation. Slight rocks of the knees side to side, bringing the knees together, bringing them apart. Just make sure any movements you are doing while you're in these big trigger point areas is slow and pretty tiny. It doesn't have to be big. So right now I'm just doing a little hip circle. And mostly our job here is to breathe and melt onto the balls. So if moving is distracting you or keeping you from getting deeper in, then stop moving and focus on the breath. Breathe deep into the belly. Expand into the chest. Sip in extra amounts. It's very common with the area we're working on and what it means energetically, and then also just it physiologically. This kind of release work might make you sweat, cry, salivate, might laugh. It's a lot of releasing is happening. So just breathe. That's the biggest thing we can do. Breathe and soften. Got a little bit more time here. We're going to spend like a good 5 minutes on each of these poses. So get ready. Just chill. My discomfort is starting to fade after some deep breathing. So then now bringing up some movement is bringing up more attention. I've kind of scooted down a little bit. Found another pocket of discomfort. And then slight rocking of the hips, or like tilting of the tailbone, rocking on your sacrum can be really effective as well. All right, go ahead and arch up a little bit. take the balls out from underneath of you. Give yourself a little recovery moment by bringing your knees into your chest. I'm going to rock up to show you the next point we're going to do, but you stay there on the floor. Next, we're going to come down more onto the sacrum. That's that bony plate where your tailbone lives and goes like kind of across. So we're pretty low on that bony part. Let me get a little bit of water while I'm up and grab my phone this time. Yes. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate while you do this. Oh. All right. So I like to get into a bridge up and do a little adjusting, roll a little bit. Oof. So let's just find some stillness. You may just have to rock your weight forward a little bit or back to get it to bring up some spicy spice. So this, like the other spot we were just at, is a nice place to do some rocking back and forth, tucking the tailbone, kind of arching and rounding, little tiny hip rolls. Oof, those always get me. Find some little tiny, intense spots. Go slow, breathe deep. Big breaths. I've also started adding an element because at the beginning, especially when I arch my back, I can feel the tightness in my abdominals and also deeper in my psoas. So sometimes I've been bringing some pressure into my front side, into these connection points from the front side. Oh yeah. All around the belly button. We're actually going to do these points on the balls on our front side. So right by the belly button on either side. And you're going to, right now I'm just kind of like pulling down. And then in the hip, in the hip pockets. Usually I'm like, and then maybe pull up a little bit on those ones. Feels nice. And then pulling down on these top ones. Okay. Woo! Shake it out, recover a little bit. So you can put one of your balls down. We're just going to use one at a time this next time. I'm going to do this front side first. So there's going to be this, in a moment, my ball's going to disappear. And you're going to be like, where'd it go? It's just in my booty. So you're going to find, usually I have to open my knee to find it. So if that's helpful, you're going to find this spot in your hip. It's just like, it's pretty high, right under where like your pelvis will dip a little bit. It's like a tiny little pocket. And again, you might want to open your knee out to the side to feel like where that's happening. And usually I just sit with one leg open and this leg up for a little bit, especially if it's pretty spicy. First, I usually do stillness until I can breathe and allow it to like soften and warm around it. Then I'll add a movement. And for this one, I like to do knee slowly up, like super slow. And then dropping. I'm gonna hang out here. A lot of times when I'm in these deep opening positions, I'm experienced some trauma in my life. There's a lot of terror and betrayal and fear that lives deep in these muscles and in the fascial tissues and in my womb. When I get into these deep opening positions, I feel vulnerable. Sometimes I feel scared. Sometimes I have flashbacks. So we're doing this work to reprogram. You know, we can talk all day about reprogramming our beliefs, but if it lives in the body, that's going to keep triggering the belief system. So we have to take a moment to somatically embody these things and also reprogram where the belief lives in the body. So when you're here and you're experiencing things, allow it to be just that. It's an experience. Be with it. Don't try to figure out why it's there. Just hold it and be like, oh, that's interesting that this is happening, or that I'm feeling this, experiencing these things. Just let them be there. They just want to be seen and validated. Take deep breaths. Say nice things like you are safe. I've got you now. I'm not going to let myself betray you. So I won't let others betray me. We are soft. We are pliable. We can change. I can heal. I love you, body. Thank you, body. Whatever words are feeling good. And then you can see right now I'm just kind of like doing a nice, gentle kind of womb, psoas, circular massage, just kind of like right in those pockets, creating some heat, some warmth, some support, letting my body feel loved and safe. I'm going to do a few movements and then I'll switch to the other side. go ahead and hop off that side. Zing zowie. And we're going to do the same thing on the other. So I'll take a moment to find that hip pocket. Oof. And you can't really see, but this, I do have this knee out again. This is now my stabilizer leg. Just gonna breathe. Say nice things to my body. And relax. Maybe add a little bit of movement, a little bit of ins and outs with that bent knee. I find this practice to be extremely grounding. Oftentimes when I get off the floor, I feel inebriated, like a little drunk and stoned. I feel like just really relaxed, but also energized. There's something about this deep fascial work that harmonizes and energizes. I need a little more time on this one. I know this practice is slow. She's a slow one, a slow and painful one. Oh, but so rewarding. You'll feel so good and will prevent injury. And reprogram our fucking belief systems. That's the real shit right there, you know. Oof. All right. Okay. Shake it out. Sit up. Grab some water. We're gonna flip over onto the belly. And before we do that, I'm just gonna give you a little warning about the belly. So I've had students make them very nauseous. Super common with this work to feel like all sorts of weird things, including nauseous. So, like I previously mentioned that we're going to do this. We're going to be on our bellies on the floor. We're going to find the first. This is spot number. I'm calling this number 4. So we have the 3 spots: bra strap, sacrum, each hip. Now we're coming to the front side, belly button, hip pocket, and then we're done. So I usually have a pillow like this, a really low lying pillow. It's just more for the texture of, like, I just all the time will lay face down on these rugs because they're cozy. A lot of times what happens is people want to feel this deeper, which to do that, you just have to get into a back bend. You can do it at Sphinx pose, which Sphinx pose is on your forearms, just like a little baby back bend. Or you can press up more. That's how you're going to engage more in this. So let's go ahead and hold this. I'm going to come back to this beginning of this part of the playlist. Okay, so when you're ready, kind of how I like to approach this, I'm going to flip sides. My light's a little shining better this way. So I'm going to come down onto the floor. Oh, I didn't realize it off. Then I pop my booty up and put the balls where I think they're going to be. Oh, God. Oh, no. And then we're going to breathe really deeply, especially big belly breath. Whew, that's going to be plenty for me today. Like I mentioned, if you need to make it more intense, you're going to want to pick your upper body up. I just can't. I can't do it. And if you're on one side of the face, I'm going to feel into about halfway and I'll tell us to switch. And then you're going to want to put the other part of your face on the ground. Also, if there's a lot of pressure on your knees, oh, this bolster's so close to me. Can I get it? Can I get it? No, I can't. I feel like having a bolster underneath your shins would be money in this position. I don't mind lying flat though. It feels good. Go ahead and flip. Big, big, big breaths, babes. All right, let's go ahead and pop off of that. Take a little break. I'm gonna grab this bolster. And I know we spent way less time on the one side than the other, so we're gonna start with that side of the face. on this next one. I just want this on me. All right, so next we're coming into these hip pockets. So like I said earlier in class, be mindful of this area. There's a lot of tender tissue, special fragile parts here. Close by at least, ovaries close by. So we're gonna pick up hips like we did before, pick up booty. Find our little hip creases. Oh, mercy love. It's not the top of the hip bone. It's like maybe an inch or two down and in is where I like to feel it, but it's also not in like your groin or near your pubic bone. I'm probably a good couple inches from my pubic bone. All right, I'm gonna switch sides of my face. If you need to feel it more, you're gonna bring this chest up a little bit. That's all you have to do. That's about all I can press into. So, big breaths. All right, switch. Switch slash, let's be done. Yep, internal timers, let's be done. I got lost in an idea. I had to write some things down. Apologies. I'm doing math. Also, what I love about this practice, downloads galore. Let me just tell you how many things come to me while I am rolling on my therapy balls. Oof. Let's take a moment. I set up kind of fast. Felt like I went to space and came back to Earth. I'm just going to go ahead and come into a supported heroes pose. Bring my hands to my lower abdomen. Take some big deep breaths. And just enjoy how cloud-like you feel, I hope. Suspended and supported. Ethereal, dense yet porous. We are dichotomous beings, and we are more than able to hold sadness and grief with joy and pleasure and desire and magic. Give yourself a little squeeze, a little hug. Thank you for being here. Love you, and I'll see you soon.